Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Studio Live today and Your Music Live. Yes, the third installment of our live show where I'll be listening to your music. That's right, you do all the work. I just get to sit back here and enjoy the fruits of your labour. Let's just adjust that view. There we go. I wasn't quite in the centre there. I hope you are doing well. If it's your first time here, my name is Pete, and this is Studio Live today, where my goal is to help you create, record, and release your best music. And I do that through tips, tricks, tutorials, live videos, and now this is actually fast becoming my favourite time of the week because I get to listen to what is being produced by the wonderful Studio Live Today community. And we've got a lot of very cool songs on the list today. I've got more than 20 songs that I've got ready to go and ready to play. So it should be a whole lot of fun in the next probably hour and a half to 2 hours. We've got a lot to get through here. Welcome to the folks who are here live. Thank you for joining me. We've got Love Lyrics here, Tom Rochelle, Jack Smith, Corner Cutter Studio, Kiaz, the Velik, Jade Stars here, Princess Znabi, SM Borthwick, Washburn, Patrick Chandler's here, Bubba, Stu Cash, Stain, hello to you, Andrew Goldsby, Rockstar 1958, good to see you, my friend, Stephen Dre, Acer BT, yes, a whole bunch of folks, Studio Geek 32, and yes, I think I've said LC Music Tracks. LC Music Tracks was here like half an hour earlier. So yeah, definitely here with bells on today. And hello to David. David Chibuka Music says, I love your direct tutorials and music. Hello from Chicago. Hope things are going well in Chi-Town. So as Jade has just mentioned in the chat here, if you're new to the show and to the concept, if you do want to have a song considered for a future show, and I say future show because we are still about a week backlogged, so all the songs we'll be listening to today are from previous submissions, so through the last 2 weeks since we first kicked this off. But if you do want to have your song considered for a future show, just send me an email, pete@studiolivetoday.com, put YML in the list, in the subject, and then you'll have a chance to be played right here on the show. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the next couple of hours, because it probably will be an hour and a half to 2 hours that will be here today. Righty dokie. Now let's just do a quick sound check and test to make sure that everything is hunky dory. I get a bit Australian when I get excited. Oh yeah, someone said my video is crisp. Is that a bit too crisp? I think I've got the sharpness. Yeah, I do. I've got the sharpness turned up a little bit, so I'm looking a little bit like outlined here. So I might just soften myself a wee bit because that's a little bit too sharp. No one needs as Pete that's sharp first thing in the morning. How's that? That looks a little bit more lifelike, doesn't it? I looked a little bit like a cardboard cutout for a moment there, which is okay. No disrespect to any cardboard cutouts out there. Righty dokie. Let us go here. Now, folks have already realised that I've saved in the song list. So spoiler alert. If you don't want it to be spoiled and you want to be able to be surprised by the songs, then yeah, just don't jump down into the description. It just goes to show me. It was actually a bit of a test. I'm like, I wonder if folks actually do ever look at the description on a YouTube video when they're watching it live. Turns out they do, because many of you have already jumped in and seen what is on and off. So hopefully if you're not on this week, you're not just going to go, oh, well, it's not me. I'll just, I'll tune out. Still hang out, watch, listen, because we've got a bunch of good stuff coming up here. Now, let's just get myself organized. I'm going to try Firefox this week because last week we didn't work so well using Google Chrome. So Google Chrome's been ousted, and I was doing some previewing and playing with Firefox, and it worked a little better. So we're going to give that a crack this week. So let me just jump in here and get ourselves ready. By the way, thank you to all of those who've been supporting me through the week, watching the shows, subscribe to the channel, all of those sort of things. I really couldn't do any of it without you. And to those who have recently donated to the channel or are now supporting me on Patreon, thank you, welcome, love your work. And yeah, there's other ways you can support me. If you're here live, there is super chat and super stickers and all those fun things down there that you can play around with. But we are nearly 5 minutes in and we haven't got any music yet. And I did mean to actually put a stopwatch on this time so I could actually get the timing right when I put my timestamps in. But that's okay. I'll still just have to use the things that we've got here at our disposal to do that. So let's now close down that window, close down this window, and bring up our first track for the week. Just going to bring this one up. Oh, I've left it. I was hoping that I wouldn't have any technical difficulties this week, but you just never know. And I nearly just left the live bit there to open the actual here. There I am. There I am talking. So I just need to come in here so I can actually do this. Righty. There we go. Now I've got that up there. I've got that up there. Just so I can check my song list to make sure that I'm doing this in order and that the actual list matches the list. So first up this week, get to the point, Pete. Get to the music. This is an EDM dance track. Says, hi, Pete. This is an EDM dance track that I made in GarageBand iOS, and I hope you like it. We've got a SoundCloud link here, so we'll jump on over. See, here's the beautiful part. Firefox doesn't autoplay stuff. If you watched last week's show or previous shows, you'd know that I had problems because Firefox would, Google Chrome would jump in and it would just start playing stuff. Whereas Firefox seems to be a little bit better with that. Anyway, quiet Pete, let's enjoy Zach HS and their tune called Horizon here on Your Music Live.
Oh baby, hit the sun.
I like SoundCloud because it shows you where there's a bit of a drop, and I could see that there was a drop coming. I never like to cut off a song just before a drop. I always like to see how people manage that. Very cool. Nicely done there, Zach. I like that. I like the vibe. I thought that was a good wake-up tune. If you're here in Australia like I am, it is 6:30 a.m., 7 o'clock over on the East Coast, 4:30 if you're in 5:30 over on the West Coast. So it's early morning here in Australia, and I thought that's a good wake-up song, a bit of a happy vibe. A lot of the people on SoundCloud were putting comments about that, saying, yeah, it's a chilled summer, luxury summer vibes, sounding cool. Now, as I say on this show, if you've watched before, my musical tastes are not important, but they kind of are, because they will, like the feedback I can give will be based on this. So I'm into rock and pop and a bit of metal, singer-songwriter, folksy kind of acousticy kind of music. That being said, I do have an appreciation for pretty much every genre, and I know when something's produced well and it's catchy and it's got a beat and it makes you bob your head and it makes you want to pull the glow sticks out and start dancing around, then you know you're on a winner. So personally, I thought that was kind of cool. That was a very funky vibe, very funky tune, and a good way to kick us off. If it's a morning like me, then then it was even better because it woke you up, and boom, better than coffee. If you are somewhere else in the world, hey, that's all cool too. Tom Rochelle says, cool song, super modern contemporary pop production. Yeah. And Voice Dash says, I'd actually really love to hear that blasting outside while I wake up on a Venezuelan beach. Doesn't it have that vibe? Absolutely. Very, very cool. Nice one. Nice start. We've got folks asking how they send their music. Yeah, all you need to do is email it to me. I am at pete@studiolivetoday.com, and just put YML in the subject. But please keep in mind that we have a full roster of songs already to go for this week. So if you do submit a song, chances are it will be on next week's show or the following week, or maybe maybe I need to do a midweek to get our backlog caught up. It's very likely. Anyway, thank you so much, Zach, for sharing your tune and for being part of Studio Live today and your music live. Let's jump to the next song. Now, this is one that was sent to me probably a couple of weeks ago now, and I'm finally going to get around to playing it. Now, I don't really understand this because I'm sure many of you will know what Soulplantation is. I don't. I'm assuming it's some sort of burger joint, sandwich joint, some sort of fast food outlet that it appears is no longer with us, because the song this is by the Velik, and I think I saw you here on the live stream. Let's bring this one up. Firefox, I'm loving you. It brings it up and it just sits there and it doesn't play automatically. I love it. So the Velik. So this is by the Velik, directed by Wes. We've got a video to go with it. You know, I love it when we get a video going on here as well. We'll full screen this. Let's see. It does start playing when I full screen it, but that's okay. So we'll full screen this one. We will check the timestamp so that we can put the time in the description. Let's play this one here. This is R.I.P. Soulplantation by the Velik. Let's do it.
Gonna miss you so much. It's adopted. Rest in peace to plantation. I'm sorry that you had to leave. Rest in peace to plantation. All the memories you gave me. When I heard the news, I felt like crying. When I heard you done a broken side. Rest in peace to plantation. I'll never forget the last time that I died. The last time that I died. I was with you, you were mine. I'm sorry that we had to fight. I said it was Wendy's, but I lied. And now you left me here alone, drowning in my empty stomach. You said that you'd be my home, but I guess your bodies weren't that honest. I went to you for my last 5 birthdays. You smelled so good and then threw that sour in my face. I thought you was mad, but you weren't in the first place. When I met you, I knew you were my saving grace. When I walked in, I get your nice fresh salad, then turn it around and get that nice tasty pizza. When my parents saw what you gave me, they said it wasn't balanced, but you were my baby. I'm gonna miss you so much.
Very, very cool. Yes, so we've found the problem with Firefox is that its playback engine is not as good. So I may have to switch back to Chrome. You win this time, Google. Yeah, because that was a little bit on the choppy side. So definitely watch the video. It is linked down in the description, by the way. All of these tunes will be linked with timestamps in the description so that you can check them out. Now, I listened to that song. I like this because it's a raw. It's just, yeah, I love the video. I love the vibe of the song. It is I'm assuming again, it's a little bit of a comedy song. It says, "This is my first song released to the public, and I hope you like it. My friend Wes and I had fun filming. Definitely going to be more music coming out in the future." Definitely suggest you do that because that was cool. And here's the funny thing: I got up extra early this morning. I'm listening to the tracks because I did a bit of vetting this week because we had some incidents last week where I had some tracks that I played that I couldn't include in the show, and I played this one. And I've been walking around all morning going, "R.I.P. Soulplantation." So definitely got an earworm. So you've definitely written something there that is going to stick in people's heads. And that is one of the hardest things to do in music production, is to get something that people are going to just walk around humming to themselves or just saying to themselves over and over again. So very well done on that one. Let's come down here. So we do have the Velik is here. It's a restaurant buffet in the US. Yeah, it's a joke, but it's fire. There you go. Absolutely. Corner Cutter says, "I'm down for unique music. I like how it's humorous, sounded fun." Absolutely. So yeah, no, it's again. Keep doing. Wes is here too. Hello to you, Wes. Who's obviously producing the track as well. Yeah, no, thank you for submitting. Continue creating. And this is the thing. As you can see over my shoulder, except I didn't turn the light on, that's supposed to be lit up and looking cool, but it says just hit record. And that is the thing. just hit record. This is the first song, and you're going to produce more songs now. You're going to learn from this. You're going to hone your production skills. You're going to improve what you do. Every time you create a new song, you have extra information. You've learnt stuff from the last tune, and you're going to be able to improve upon that. Tom Rochelle says that, yeah, decent song. Maybe next time a bit less reverb and auto-tune on the vocals. Yeah, the reverb pushes it into the background, and it's hard to hear the words. Yeah, I think that's a good point because, yeah, especially with a comedy song or something that you really want people to hone in on the words, you really want people to hear the words. So a good point there, Tom, but appreciate it. And yeah, it is. It's cooler, and the humour made it better. Absolutely. Let's continue on here and jump to our next song. Now, I've seen Acer BT here in the chat, and I'm going to bring this one up here. If you want to throw any extra comments in the actual comments here while I bring this one up, Acer BT, feel free to, because you are next on the. I was about to say on the chopping block. That doesn't sound good. On the block on the playlist here. I'm going to bring up Google Chrome because, again, for some reason, Firefox wasn't loving the video vibes, and I'll just have to get back into my habit of very quickly hitting pause when I bring things up. Let's play this track now. It is a trap song by the looks of it, Constantly Flowing. This is by Acer BT, and you're listening to it on Your Music Live. Let's take a listen. That's very cool. I like that the melody there. Again, it's repeating, but it's in a cool way, and I like it when something's the rhythm of that could have been very basic and very simple, but you've actually explored. It's like do 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 do. Like it's just a little bit. It's not just your classic 1, 2, 3, 4 right on the beat stuff. A little bit of a syncopation or variety in your rhythm really helps out. So yeah, very cool instrumental there. I was just trying to find the email that was sent to me on the back of this one. I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find where this was sent. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. I can't find it. So yeah, again, I think I saw Acer BT here in the chat. So please drop some comments there if you want to share anything more about the track and about what you did. Here we go. It says I was producing this track late at night during a science camp that had a theme of water, hence the name. There you go. That makes sense. Like it's definitely got that water feel to it. It's very, very fluid, very flowing, hence the name. I like it. Deedon Sai said this is very calming. Absolutely. SEONN, not bad. Glad you got inspired to play music on the go. Yeah, and a really good kick drum sample in that, says Tom Rochelle. Beautiful. I like it. Yeah. Cool. I think we are good. Good to continue on here. Just making sure that I'm keeping things updated and that I'm getting everything happening. Yeah, the good thing is, as you were saying there, being able to produce on the go, and when you have the feeling at the time, that's one of the great things about mobile. And I know not everyone produces on mobile or uses GarageBand or uses their iPhone or their iPad to produce, but it is just such a cool thing because wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you can jump in and start making music. And kudos to you, Acer BT, for doing exactly that, for getting your music on wherever you happen to be. Alrighty, let's bring up another one here. I'll just paste this over into the spot here and get ourselves set up so that we're ready to go. I've got all these devices here, like I've got iPads and iPhones. For future shows, I should have like a setup where everything's in front of me. That would make a heck of a lot more sense for me. This one here is from MACN 921. It's called Made It to the End, produced by Caps Control. I get it. Caps Control. Okay. I'm like CAPSCTRL. Caps Control. Got it. So this is a tune submitted for Your Music Live from MACN 921. Let's jump on over. We'll turn up the volume and we'll get this one happening. This has made it to the end on Your Music Live.
To the end, no, I do it all again. How you treat me like a stranger when I used to be a friend. We made it to the end, crushing up the pills again. I tried to quit them drugs, but the demons back again. Yeah, I'm dedicated, I'm dedicated. I love to stick around, but girl, I see that you play it. And I got me a lot of problems, hope that you could help me solve them. All my friends, they know I got them, feeling like I hit
That is very cool stuff. I love it when that the sample at the start there, you're like, this could be a hip hop track, or this could be like an alt rock track, or it could like be a folksy rock track. Like it unfolded, and I love that crossover where you're using different things in there, like really good beats. Love some of the beats and the breaks that you had in there. Really good. Pete's going to sound uneducated here, but I'm just like, I'm going to call it flow. I know that people like me shouldn't say the word flow because I don't have any flow. But yeah, it just sounded so nice and just in the pocket. What we'd say in the sort of music I produce, in the pocket, in the groove, it was just like right on the beat. So that sort of thing where, here's the thing. The biggest compliment that you can have about music is that it's not distracting. And I know that sounds like a backhanded compliment. It's like, that wasn't so bad that I was distracted by it. But you know what I mean? When you're hearing something produced that's not quite right, it's either not quite in the pocket, it's not quite on the beat, and it's distracting as you're listening to it. You're like, it's a little bit amateur sounding. This sounds pro. This sounds like, yep, I'd hear this on the radio. You wouldn't bat an eyelid. You just go, that's really, really cool. So thank you for sharing that. That was really, really nice. Let's see what the folks who are here live had to say. And here's the thing. This is why music is subjective. So Deed and Size, the first comment I read says the vocals are sometimes offbeat, but other than that, it's very good. See, I felt that was like, I liked how it sat in the pocket. So again, horses for courses, right? Music is subjective. That's one of the best things about it. Tono says great dynamics. LC Music Tracks, hello, welcome to you. Says sounds great. It's groovy. Let's see. Probably the cleanest thing I've heard in a while. Says Dash Voiced Dash. So yes. And the question from Mers says, how do I submit? So if you send an email, you can send it to pete@studiolivetoday.com. Put YML in the subject line, and you will be considered for future shows. We have a full quota and then some for today, but if you want to be considered for future shows, email pete@studiolivetoday.com with YML in the description, in the subject line. And yes, there are instructions in the description of this one as well. Who is next on our list? Next up we have Xanhour with a track called Not Meant to Be. Let's find this one. We'll come over to my emails here. Every time I do this, I'm like, I need a third screen. I've already got two screens. I need a third screen to get my stuff together here. Oh, by the way, Acer BT, thank you. Vision impaired. So I was talking about how they were using voiceover and how that can be a challenge. So, when you hear a track, you're like, that's a really, really cool track. And then you learn that someone recorded it using voiceover on their iPhone or iPad because they're visually impaired. That's next level stuff, right? That's epic. So congratulations to you. Well done. Xanhour, this says, hi Pete, I hope you'll listen to my song in the next episode of Your Music Live. Here is the link. Well, I don't think I did because that was last week, but now I have it and now I will be listening to it. So we're just going to copy this link. We're going to paste it on over. All of these links are down in the description, by the way. So if you want to check out the full versions of these songs, support these artists if you enjoy them, then please jump down into the description afterwards and jump over and check out the great tunes being shared by the folks here on Your Music Live. But for now, let's take a listen to this track called Not Meant to Be. This is from Xanhour live here on Your Music Live. Let's do it.
You can't force love and yet I tried to. I lost myself trying to win you. And now I see that I was a fool. I know that you don't care about me. I heard that you like another girl. I've seen the look you give her that you never given me before. And it's okay if you wanna let me go. I'll let you go. 'Cause I know that you don't love me like I love you so. So please don't lead me on, or can we just be done? 'Cause we're not meant to be, and that's alright with me. We don't have to be together. God's got someone better for me. Oh, we're not meant to be, and that's alright with me. We don't have to be together. God's got someone better for me. You just want us to be a secret.
Very, very cool. That is Xanhour with her track called Not Meant to Be. Very nice. I like it. I like the production, like the lyric video. Those are a lot harder to do than you'd think. If you never produce a lyric video, they take a long time to actually do. So I give much props to anyone who takes the time to do a lyric video. Really cool. Excellent voice. Loved the singing right in the pocket there. Production on the track was good. As I'm listening to the start of that, I'm thinking, and sort of through the first probably minute, I'd love to hear it just padded out a little bit more. I talked about pads last week, but pads can make the difference between a song sounding full and rich and sounding just a little bit thin. And in some parts of that, I would have just like, maybe even coming into the second or the chorus or the second verse, maybe just add in a pad, just a synth pad of a nice chord underneath because you had in there, you had the beat and you had sort of the guitar sample in there. I would have loved it. Fill out that arrangement. It's weird because you'll probably hear me say on some other songs today, it's doing too much and you want to kind of thin it down. You want to make it a little bit less busy. It's very easy to put too much stuff in and make things sound too busy. But at the same token, a pad can be a really cool thing. So again, just using like an E piano or just a synth pad or some additional sort of bass sound, like a bit more of a like underneath it, that can just add, again, make it a richer kind of sound. But very, very nicely done. Really enjoyed that one. And I love hearing we're 5 tracks in and we've already heard pretty much every different musical style that you could imagine, or at least a few of them. Tom Rochelle says, really good singing. Wow. Yes, it was very, very cool. Tono says an actual acoustic guitar would be perfect in this. Yeah, maybe an actual acoustic, and then in that chorus, it rocks in with like some distorted guitars. I think that could actually really work well. I think you might need to talk to some of the guitar folks here on the Studio Live Today community, and maybe some collaboration in the future. Get some guitars in on there. Rockstar 1958, that certainly was meant to be. Very nice. SM Borthwick, lovely vocals on this. Bass drum may have been a touch heavy. Yeah, I was torn on that because I liked when that bass drum the kick drum just kicked on in and it kind of changed the vibe of the track, which is not a bad thing. But yeah, it almost wanted to be two things, didn't it? Almost wanted to be a mellow pop song, and then it was almost like kicking in with a bit of sort of hip hop R&B in on the chorus. But no, very good. LC Music Tracks said song was good, had great meaning. Yeah, absolutely. Love the stuff. Hello, Yul the guy who has dropped a super chat here. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. To the folks who are supporting me over on Patreon, to those who have made donations during the week via PayPal, I love you all. And if you're just watching videos, that helps out too. So every little bit you do to help helps me continue to produce daily videos and feed the family and do all those good things, as well as buy the gear to review and to do all the things here on the channel. So thank you. I appreciate you very, very much. And if you want to drop a super chat or a super sticker here, I will not stop you from doing that. But for now, let's continue on here. We've got some more tracks to get to, a heap more to get to, in fact. So let's bring up our next one. Find the spot where I've got the things. Here we are, my music submissions. Comes from, this is from Artist13. It says, I just made this song with my brother 2 days ago. And then he says, but this one is my best. And I'm going to go with the best one. I actually listened to both of these this morning. And I'm going to go with a song called Pop Off. Now, if you... I'm sure that means something else, but here in Australia, back in the 80s, you weren't allowed to say the word, fart. I'm like, I try to keep this stream PG-13. So as children, we would often call that a pop-off. So when I first saw the name of this track, now you're going to be thinking that the whole way through. You're going to be thinking, this is a fart song. But yeah, the word... the word pop off meant a fart, or we call it a fluff too. We were all very a little bit dainty, and we were very innocent back in the 80s. We weren't very rebellious. Saying the word pop off made us feel all cool as 8-year-olds. But anyway, that is not what we're talking about here. Let's bring up this track. So this one is by Young Capone. It is called Space Coupe. Ex Young Capone. Pop Off produced Bruffer Beats. I never know quite how to say that. Like, it looks good when I'll show you what I mean. It looks like that when you're looking at it, and I never know exactly how to read that out to make it sound like I know what I'm talking about. So clearly you know that I just don't, but that's okay. Let's hit play on this track and take a listen, shall we? This is Young Capone, Pop Off here on Your Music Live.
Bro, forgot that heat. Vibing with the gang, how I'm sitting on the bench when I've been grinding every day. How I'm supposed to pay attention when attention never pay. Yeah, hey, cause I'm stuck up in a chase. Yeah, I'ma need to buy a Mac cause I'm still trying to find my place. I'ma need to get the dough cause I ain't got a place to stay. I don't want no freaking script because my feelings not a stage. I'ma need to buy a watch cause I don't got no time to waste. You gon' be my baby so she won't be where the stroller be. Broke my heart in half and now I only got the cold piece. I've been moving wild so they tryna get a hold of me. So I stay alone cause that's the only place to close a beat. Yeah.
Very, very cool. I've had to, a few tracks this week, I've had to reply back saying, there's a few too many profanities in that. I tagged this one as like suitable for 13 plus. So like basically it has to be PG, not PG-13, but you know what I mean, around about that vibe. But the thing is, when you got a rap song, sometimes you can probably sneak in a few words that I don't even pick up, but that's okay because YouTube algorithms don't either. So that's all cool. What a cool track. What a well-produced song. I really like that. Yeah, again, what made that song? When I don't know about the genre and when I'm not sort of, you're like, Pete, you don't know this genre, you can't talk about this. But what I can talk about is what I like and production techniques that can work across everything. Did you hear the bass there, that 808 bass sound? I'm assuming it's an 808 or a 909, something like that. But it wasn't just doing the boom, boom, boom. It was a melodic sound. So it was dum, 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 dum. So it was actually doing the three notes. And that's something that I don't think a lot of people think about using. They go, I'm going to put my 808 kick in there to just give it the doof, doof, doof. But you can actually use the bass to create a bit of a walking bass at the bottom there, and it creates a cool, it's a melody, but it's way down there. So you've got your melodic vocals happening through the chorus, but your bass is stepping up and down at the same time. And it just creates this really interesting vibe that wouldn't be there if you were just rapping, if you were just singing over the top of just your kick and your snare, and you don't have that bass in there. That's a completely different track. So it sounds really cool because you have that variety in there. So, yeah, I like it. Jade Star agrees, very well produced. Stephen Dre says, Pete saying these names and titles is awesome. Yeah, I hope I give you some fun. I hope I make you laugh at my old man vibes that I put out sometimes. Like I'm self-confessed that I don't know. This is the thing. I learn a lot from doing this because I don't know. I wouldn't know a trap beat if it came up and slapped me in the face. So yeah, I'm learning a lot by doing this show and finding that it's really useful for me because we're learning all the time. And it doesn't matter what sort of music you're producing. You can learn some production techniques, some songwriting techniques, some recording techniques from what other people are doing. If you just keep doing things the way you've done it, because, hey, I'm a singer-songwriter and I just grab an SM57 and put it in front of my amp and I just grab my Audio-Technica mic and sing straight into it because I've been doing that for 20 years, well, maybe you need to try something different. Yeah, worth a consideration anyway. Tom Rochelle, that sounds like it's almost radio ready, to be honest. I agree. Absolutely. Those glockenspiels, don't know really, are really dreamy, says Tono. Yeah, the nice, again, the melodic counter melodies there are really cool as well. Hello, Amelia Holmes. Can I post a link here? You need to email me to get considered for a future show. So yeah, email me, pete@studiolivetoday.com. There's details in the description if you want to do there. Acer BT, using an 808 bass along with a kick drum works well. Yeah, exactly. And Bubba's laughing at me being an old man. I do feel old. I'm looking extra grey today. I should have changed my white balance to make my grey beard look darker. You can cheat. You can cheat with things like video. This is not how I look at all. I'm actually no. I was going to say. I'm just going to leave it there. We're getting way off track, and we've got like 13 more songs to get to. So if I start going off the track, we are never going to get back. That rhymes. Righty dokie. Let's move on to our next track. Now, this is an artist that we've heard from before. I think back in the first episode. So yeah, we are having a few repeated artists, but these are artists that have contacted me, that I've been in touch with, that have been supporting the channel in various different ways, either through Patreon or through donations. Not saying that there's payola. Like, don't go, right, Pete, I'll slip you $5 and my song goes up to the top of the list. Yeah. No, I still kind of just go through the order. Although that being said, I've got a few from my patrons that we'll be getting to later in the show. So yeah, I did kind of contradict myself there. But yeah, thank you again to everyone supporting the channel. This is a tune by Only Ben is the artist name. We're going to bring it on up here. Again, we played a tune from Ben a couple of weeks back. This is a very different kind of vibe. So I wanted to play this one and give you a bit of a taste of something different. This is called No Matter What You Say by Only Ben, right here on your Music Live.
From the moment you wake up, you're thinking of breakup. Well, to me, it's just a lesson learned. Walking home hand in hand, a meaningless one night stand. It's just another bridge that's burned. So what was once you and me soon became family, just the way it was meant to be. Not a matter of life or death, it's not even more or less. It's just the end of it for you and me. And I don't even care about you anyway, no matter what you say. And I don't even care about you anyway, no matter what you say. And I'm heading out on that road.
There you go. Only Ben with another track here on your Music Live. Really like that one. I'm getting an 80s rock like that. Dun, 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 dun. I'm thinking like Roxette, Bryan Adams, In Excess, Bon Jovi, like 80s rock, but a contemporary swing on an 80s rock kind of tune. So yeah, really enjoyed that, Ben. Well done. Thank you for sharing. And once again, thank you for supporting me and the channel here. Really appreciate it. Thank you everyone for your support. But yes, a cool song. What have the folks got to say about here? Acer BT, the drums almost sound a bit over limited or compressed. Yeah, the drums were kind of punchy. Maybe could have dialed down the compression or the limiting on the drums. I think in the beginning it could have used some double tracking on the guitar, says Tono. Interesting. Yeah, double tracking for the intro might have just widened it a little bit, or maybe some stereo widening plug-in. If you didn't double track, maybe you could widen up that guitar and get it sitting in the left and right a little bit more. That might be cool. Tom Rochelle, that's straight out of the 80s. Yeah, absolutely. Agree with that. Stephen Dre says Bryan Adams is awesome. Yeah, I gotta love you some Bryan Adams. I used to annoy the folks at the ice hockey. I used to be the PA announcer for the teams here in Adelaide, and I would play I got my first real six string like at the very end of the period. So it'd be the end of the period. There'd be a bit of a scuffle and blah 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 blah, and then like it'd just be like got my first and it would just it would always annoy the audience. They wanted me to play some like Rage Against the Machine or some AC/DC, and I'd just be like, Bryan Adams, baby, here it comes. Alrighty, cool. Let's continue on here. We've got a heap more songs to get to. So much time, so little to do, or the other way around. What is it? Switch it, reverse it. A badly quoted Willy Wonka there. Willy Wonka, I ain't. Although I am an old crazy man, so maybe, just maybe. I'm going to play another tune from someone who's been on the show before. I think the first show as well. This is Martin Hammar. Martin is a member of, I think Ben is as well, of Create, Record, Release. So if you are a musician, if you are a singer-songwriter, if you are a producer, if you create music or just like listening to other people's music creations, please join us over on the Facebook group at Create, Record, Release. If I know Jade Starr, she's putting the link down as I'm talking here. But it's a great forum. I think how many we got over there? 200, 250, 300? There's a lot of folks there now sharing music. And the beautiful part is it's not just one-to-one or one-to-many, it's many-to-many. So you've got a bunch of people sharing music. You've got a bunch of people that can help, that can provide the sort of suggestions and the sort of feedback we're providing here to help folks improve their music and improve their song production. So if you're a Facebook user, look up Create, Record, Release. In fact, I think I actually just registered createrecordrelease.com. So I think, let me just check this before. I think that's just pointing straight to the Facebook group at the moment, because I haven't set up a proper web page yet. Yeah, it is. So there you go. Just go to createrecordrelease.com and you'll be able to check out Create, Record, Release, the the Facebook group. Anyway, let's listen to this Brian? Where did I get Brian from? Let's listen to this Martin Hammar tune. This is called Climb the Highest Mountain on Your Music Live.
I would climb the highest mountain. I would cross the raging sea. I would fight the biggest armies if you stayed with me. You are the air that I am breathing. You're the blood inside my veins. So don't keep me on hold. I give diamonds and gold for your love. What's a man supposed to do when he's falling for a girl like you? Turn his head and walk away.
welcome to the 80s section of Your Music Live. Yeah, very, very cool again. I love that. I love that the 80s retro vibe is a happening thing at the moment because I loved the 80s and I love 80s rock. And to have that 80s rock vibe is very cool. Things that stood out for me in this track, the drums were cracking and popping. I'd love more information, Martin. If you want to put it, drop a comment in this video. Let us know how you get that drum sound, because I think a lot of people would love to get that sort of drum sound. It's nice and not over compressed, but it's just nice and snappy, nice and popping kick and snare drum. So well done on that. And I love this. The reason I wanted to play this in particular this week, even though we played Martin 2 weeks ago, is the song structure. How cool was it that it just hit you with the chorus? No verse, chorus, verse stuff here. This is chorus, verse, chorus. So I love that because you don't need to do the traditional song structure, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, chorus. Like, you can do whatever you want in music. You can take a chance and do something different. And that song just grabs you by the bits and pieces from the very first sound. And yeah, very, very cool. Gertrude said, I thought you'd put on an ABBA song. Love it. Thank you for being here, Gertrude. We played Gertrude's song last week, I think. Very, very cool track. And yeah, check out her music as well. And Gertrude asked me during the week, because I did a video about choosing your artist name. And I forget your full name, Gertrude. You can let us know in the chat here. But it's Gertrude C Music. But it's Gertrude with a J. And then your surname is something that I'm not going to be able to pronounce. And I think I said, why don't you just be Gertie? You could be like Cher, but you can be Gertie. And that can be, or Gert, like just Gert, like just 5 letters, boom. Like, yeah, anyway, completely getting off the track. Tom Rochelle says, really good song. I'm always up for some 80s rock. Absolutely. Definitely. And Gertrude's saying, oh no, I missed it. Did you miss your own song being played? Oh no, you'll have to go back and check that out for sure. SM Borthwick says, love Martin stuff. Such smooth production. Absolutely. Bubba says Duran meets yes. That's a good combination. Absolutely. And Gertrude says it's Gertrude Cortino. There you go. So yeah, it is hard. It is Pete Johns or Peter Johns, my full name. Either way, it's really hard to get that wrong. Although a lot of people call me John. Don't call me John. It's not my name. Although I've got 2 first names. It's just going to be something you have to deal with, isn't it, when you've got 2 first names? SEONN, one of our moderators here. Oh, Jade has put the create, record, release link in the chat there. So thank you for that, Jade. SEONN has said, any ideas for a good vocal chain for GarageBand? Yeah, for your GarageBand users, what do you use in your vocal chain? That might actually be a good video to do, SEONN. Either you can do it or I will, because SEONN creates mobile music production videos as well. My vocal chain is super simple, to be honest. I use the stock compressor. So I don't have any noise gate on vocals. I've got the stock compressor at the top there. I then have usually the track delay and track reverb dialed into different amounts there. I'll often use some of the overdrive, so a little bit of the drive, the distortion, just a little tweak on there just to rough up those vocals a little bit. And then I'll put the LRC5 at the end to just do a little bit of EQing to pull out usually my nasal frequencies, because I've got a bit of a nasal voice, and my F's. So I'll try and get that F sound up the top there so I'm not as sibilant. So yeah, that's my vocal chain. But yeah, interested to hear what other people use. Righty dokie. Benjamin Kelsey, welcome, thanks for being here, says definitely an 80s vibe, which is great. Unique vocal styling that is catchy in and of itself. Leaves me wanting to hear more for sure. Absolutely. And definitely check out Martin's music and all of the producers and musicians you're hearing today. As I mentioned, their tunes are down in the description. After the show is not over. You can go back and relive your favorite moments and explore some new artists. That's what this is about. This is the beauty of this show. Well, there's 3 reasons why I love this show. I get to listen to cool new music and spend some time just enjoying it. I get to provide feedback, which will hopefully help folks, and other folks here in the live chat can provide feedback that should help those who are sharing their music to produce better music. And you get a little bit of exposure, because who doesn't like hearing their song being played and having other folks discover them? So yeah, I'm never going to be a like, comment, subscribe kind of let's grow together, sub for sub kind of thing. That's not my vibe, and I don't think that works, and I'm not a fan of it. Do what you want to do, but not for me. However, if you listen to someone's music here and you like it, then that's a good reason. Don't subscribe to someone because you want to support them or grow together. Subscribe to someone because you really like their music and you want to hear more, right? Am I right? Right. The weird thing about not having a direct audience is I make a comment and I'm just like, that was a really insightful comment. And then I've only got myself to say, yeah, right. But the beauty part of that is when I say something completely stupid, there's no one here to say, Pete, that was really stupid. So it's swings and roundabouts, folks. Let's move on to our next song. We're getting through these. We're going to go and check out this one. Who is this? This is YBN Nahmir type beat, Millionaire. Let's bring this one up and take a quick look and listen. I'll find the email to see if we've got any context. By the way, if you are sending me a song, please do give me a little bit of info about it because it just helps me out. The email for this one didn't really tell me anything about it, so I'm just going to play it because I thought it was a cool little funky little vibe, and I like to listen to all sorts of music here. So we go from a March and Hammar to Forest Hippity. Let's do this. This is Forest Hippity on Studio Live today. Forgot my own show name. Your Music Alive. I feel I'm going to stop it right before a nice build there. So I've probably missed the part where the track sort of builds up into something else. But thank you for sharing that. Very, very cool. It's amazing that the diversity of music that can be produced and what people can actually produce in their home studios with their gear. I don't know what that was produced on. As I said, I didn't have any details around the production. But yeah, just being able to pull things together, grab some loops, grab some samples, mix it, match it, do your thing. What would I do with that song? It's a little thin, so I would probably fill it out, especially at the start there. Like I would bring in something like a pad or like a like some sort of rhythm, because I couldn't really get a feel for what the beat was going to be at the start, which is fine, but it was because it's a slow kind of beat. I almost would like to go boom, 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 boom over that synth sample, just so that you get a feel. You're like, yeah, start nodding your head and start getting into it right from the start. So that was that's my 2 cents on that one. But thank you for sharing, and thank you everyone for being here and sharing your music and sharing your comments. Righty dokie, let's continue on, shall we? Langston Reese and Cool Music. Gordon Fritch, hello to you. Pete, just saw you live. Great stuff from G. Good to have you here, Gordon. Thanks for dropping on by. Very, very cool. Righty dokie. SEONN says that's some chill house music. Says sorry Pete, mine isn't EDM this time. Isn't EDM. We'll be listening to a SEONN track in just a moment. SEONN, our one of our wonderful moderators here on the channel, also a YouTube content creator and producer in his own right. So if you're not already subscribed to SEONN, what are you doing? Get over and subscribe to SEONN. He produces good content. And if you're a mobile music creator, you need to check out his videos. He's got some giveaways going on at the moment. He's got some tutorials on different apps and other things that you can do. If you're an iOS producer, go and check it out. And while we're talking moderators, Jade Star, of course, is here as well. Jade is just kicked off her new series called How to App. So she's covering a different app every day, every weekday on her show, and has done some really cool interviews as well. So she's interviewed this guy as well as Dan Baker and Ron Ward. So some big names there in the garage band and in the iOS music community. So jump on over to Jade's channel as well. If you are new to the channel here, that is 2 channels that I highly recommend. Not just because they are the wonderful moderators here, but because they produce their own very good, high quality content as well. Let's continue on here. We're up to track 10. Yes, and we're only halfway there. Can you believe it? So we better get a move on. So let's bring this one up here. This one is from an artist called Get Ducked, which I just love. I think that's cool. I love things that are insinuate something, but are not so rude that you couldn't, like, I could probably tell my children that. Maybe not my 8-year-old. She'd probably walk around going, ducked, ducked, ducked all day. Get ducked, get ducked. But yeah, my 10-year-old would just go, ha, that's funny. But anyway, I'm getting way off track again, aren't I? Let's bring up the volume here and bring this one. This is called Tears Falling, produced by Pink. Someone's going to have to tell me how I'm supposed to read that, because I've clearly never done this sort of stuff before in this type of music where it's got a producer and an artist. So do I say... let me know. Let me know in the comments here. Let me know in the chat how I'm supposed to say this. If I'm saying, now on Your Music Live, we have Get Ducked with their track Tears Falling, produced by Pink. I don't know. Let's play it and take a listen on Your Music Live.
I don't know what I did wrong, but you left me broken inside. I don't know how to forget you, and you're always on my mind. Tears falling, you're falling. I wish I could help you back up. Wings broken and I'm falling, and you don't care at all. I love you, you don't love me. That's why I'm falling to pieces. Back to you if you ask me, because you're so beautiful. Your eyes are shining bright, they even shine in the dark. Your eyes are like the ocean, and I get lost in them. I love your personality and how you talk to me, but now you have another, and I am no longer yours.
There you go. Get Ducked. Tears Falling. Is it just me, or have we got a bit of a breakup vibe going on here today? I reckon that's the third breakup type song that we've had here. I hope everyone's doing well. There are more fish in the sea, all those breakup cliches, but I really liked that. Again, another track where we've got the clash, not clashes, but we've brought together a couple of different genres there. Love the acoustic guitar sample and loop at the start. Sounded really cool. Again, we could be hearing like an Uncle Kracker song. We could be hearing like an alt rock song from the 90s. And then to have, again, the hip hop beat and the rap coming in over the top just sounded really cool. Really enjoyed that one. So yeah, let us know in the chat here what you thought of that one. I'm just going to find, I did get an email about this one, which I think had some information in here. So let's just see what we had to say. There we go. So this is, says, so I didn't make the beat, but I wrote the lyrics as well as mixed my own vocals. The song is about my ex. She went back to her ex while we were together and never nearly knew why. Yeah, so exactly. So it definitely is a breakup song. So yes, hope you're doing better. And music can be cathartic for that very reason. When I say this every week, but music is great because when you're feeling good, you listen to music. Because you're feeling good. When you're feeling okay, you listen to music and it can pep you up. It can make you feel good. When you're feeling bad, you listen to music and it can make you feel better. So very rarely does music, unless you're listening to some really depressing music, which you can do. Music can make you cry. It can make you feel bad if you want to have a bad feeling or if you want to feel a bit sentimental. But most of the time, music can either heal or it can make you feel good, or it can just make you happy. It can be happy music, or it can be meaningful music that means a lot to you, which clearly this song does. So thank you so much for sharing. Let's see what folks had to say about this one. Tom says, another one with a very modern production style. I like it. Maybe the vocals were a tad uneven. Maybe a touch more compression. Yes, absolutely. What else have we got here? Very good. We've got other comments here. Very good. The overlap wasn't very smooth, but the bass frequencies are very good. Maybe too loud. That's from Tono. And Langston Reese says, cool rap song. So yeah, I think there's probably some things that could have been done there. Could have probably balanced out those vocals a little bit. I think some compression on there might have worked well with that, because there were some parts of the vocals that were a lot louder than other parts. And when you've got something like that, you can either use some automation, so you can drop the volume of some parts and then increase the volume of others, or you can use a compressor. And what a compressor does is it kind of squashes down the peaks. So in that one, there were a bit where the vocal kind of jumped up a bit in volume, and you could automate that down. But what a compressor would do is it would sort of push down all those peaks and bring the quieter parts up. So compression on your vocals is a good suggestion there. Who was that from? That was from Tom Rochelle. Yeah, a bit of compression on there could work. SM Borthwick liked the acoustic guitar loop, thought the vocals were a bit high in the mix. Yeah, singing too close to the mic perhaps. And that's another thing. I think you were probably a little bit too close on the mic there. So to give you an idea, there's something called the proximity effect, which happens when you get too close to the mic. So I'll give you an example here on this mic. So when I'm talking, I'm here, I'm about, about 20 centimeters, 8 inches from the microphone. If I get right up on it, I get a bit of that DJ style voice. So if I wanted to do this, if I want to say, hey, welcome to Your Music Live here on Studio Live today, notice that it just increases. Even like I was overdoing it there, but even in my normal speaking voice, the closer I get, it brings out those resonant bass frequencies, which if you want to go for those, works well. But if you get off the mic just a little bit, you still get enough bass frequencies, but it's not overloading those. So that might be another tip, is if you're finding you're overloading the bass frequencies, and especially if you've got a more bassy voice to begin with, getting too close to the mic can actually maybe not be the right thing to do. Maybe just back off a little bit and try that. But yeah, good tips all around. Good song, good feedback. Hopefully you're enjoying the show here. If you're getting some value from this one, hit the like button. That helps me out. That just tells me that I should create more of these, and I should come back next week and do another Your Music Live, because judging by the number of folks in the chat that want their songs featured, sounds like I'm going to have another backlog, and we're going to be back again next week with another 20 songs. Let's take a pause here and jump over, because just before this one, you may have seen on the channel here, I've just done a reminder video, I guess, about my Patreon. So over at patreon.com/PeteJohns, you can join the Patreon community. So I love the Studio Live Today community here. There are lots and lots of you, and I do try to get back to as many people in the comments and people that email me and those that hit me up on Instagram and Facebook. But there's only 24 hours in the day. As much as I've tried, I haven't found a way to stretch it more than 24. So if you want a little bit more access, a little bit more of a direct and smaller community, head over to patreon.com/PeteJohns. For as little as $1 per month, you can support me here on the channel, and you can have access to the smaller community. So the folks here on Patreon have the opportunity to jump in and give me some songs here. So SEONN, who I mentioned before, says, sending in a late entry, this song makes use of stock guitars, and please give a shout out to my channel. Already done, SEONN. There you go. Making a ton of advanced videos for people using apps like GarageBand at youtube.com/SEONN, the THA producer. Yes, you are indeed, and that's a double shout out that I've thrown SEONN's way, but I don't mind it, because SEONN is a wonderful supporter of me and the channel here on Studio Live Today. Let's bring this one up. I'm still laughing at Get Ducked. I'm sorry. That's probably, YouTube are probably going to pick that up and say, this is not recommended for audiences because you swore. And I'm like, I said ducked. Alrighty. Let's take a listen to this track. This one is from SEONN back in, so I should have known. It's from April, so a couple of months ago. And we will bring up the volume. I'll bring over the video, and let's take a listen to this one. I Should Have Known, an original song by SEONN.
I should have known right from the start. You opened my heart all the way. Maybe I will never find somebody like you. I should have known right from the start. You opened my heart all the way. Maybe I will never find somebody like you. Let me go all the way. Can we talk about what we're going through? You opened my heart to the things I never known. Oh, singing, I should have known right from the start. You opened my heart all the way. Maybe I will never find somebody like you. I should have known. Oh, well, you opened my heart all the way up, all the way. I can find that I miss it all the way. Yeah, yeah.
Very cool. There it is. An original song, I Should Have Known by SEONN. Thank you very much for sharing that one. Making some great use of GarageBand, of the stock instruments there in GarageBand as well. So it is amazing. GarageBand is an exceptionally good songwriting tool. And I really like that song because I can hear that building. Like it sounds good as it is, but in my head, I hear that building up. It's almost like an end title song, like on the credits of like a movie, like a rom-com type movie. Is anyone else getting that vibe? That it could have been at the end. So I can hear some strings in there. I can hear some pads. Again, I keep talking about pads, but I think when you've got a song like that, it sounds good as it is, but if it sounds a bit sort of vacant and thin, I think sometimes just a pad in there, like an electric piano or an organ sitting under that one, I think that could really lift it and make it even better. But thank you for sharing, SEONN, and thank you as always for your support, being one of our wonderful moderators here on Studio Live today, as well as producing your own content and supporting me over on Patreon. And once again, if you want to be a patron, Jade has just put a link in the chat there. Just go to patreon.com/PeteJohns. Does anyone struggle to say the word Patreon as much as I do? Yeah, I'm just going to have to throw this in here because SEONN, I should have known because I didn't have this in my list because this was a late entry via Patreon. So that's, again, one of the privileges of being a patron is that I can... apparently, I'm only just trying this today, I've just allowed the patrons to jump the queue for today and get a song here. Let's have a look here. I'll just see if we've got any other comments on this one here. Yes, I think one of the other patrons, James here, I think I've got you on the list for today. You said you've emailed it to me, but I don't have the link here right now. Hopefully you're in this show. If not, James, I'll make sure that you're on the next one if you're in the email and it just hasn't gone onto the list for today. But yes, hold that thought because we're over an hour in already, and we've got a bunch of other stuff to get to here today. So we'll continue on. This next track coming up here is by an artist called I Brown. It's a track called By Myself, which reminds me of the Green Day song called All By Myself. Any Green Day fans out there? It was like the hidden track on one of their songs, on one of their albums. Can't remember which one. Maybe was it not Nimrod? Someone will tell me. Someone in the chat, let me know. All By Myself, the Green Day song. What album was it? Dookie. Was it Dookie? Maybe it was Dookie. Righty dokey. Let's take a listen to this track. This is called By Myself by I Brown. And we're going to listen to it live here on Your Music Live.
Who do I turn to? Who do I turn to? Who do I turn to? Hey yo. Who do I turn to? I thought it was you, but you abandoned me. You said I'm your child, thought we were family. You're all knowing, so it should be easy understanding me. You said call on you when I tried, but you don't answer me.
Sorry, the number you have been...
I tried to keep the faith, but I've been waiting too long. Got me feeling like David in Psalms, crying out in verses, I'ma hate to move on. Long as I can remember, I was taught about you, that I should let you lead me, shouldn't walk without you. I followed your lead when I should have planned it out. I listened to your word, now I'm starting to doubt you. Faith without works is dead, but it moves mountains. The size of a mustard seed, had faith for like 30 years, but who's counting? Was told all I need is to trust and believe. Sometimes I'm grateful, sometimes I hate you. It's kinda hard for me to be reacting blessed. When I'm dealing with post-traumatic stress from all the setbacks, obstacles, and tests. When good things happen, it's you I owe. When bad things happen to me, I'm Job. You and the devil, gambling with my life. Meanwhile, I'm left confused, scrambling for advice.
Never thought you would leave me to be by myself.
Why?
Knowing I need help. Never thought you would leave me to be by myself.
Very, very powerful song. Very nicely produced. I love a video. I love seeing folks in their own videos. It's just something a whole lot more powerful and expressive when you're right there. I think Gertrude shared a song a couple of weeks ago where it's video of you. Yeah, you just get a different feel, and it just gives the song that next level of feel. So nicely produced, like it, like the background vocals in there, like the beat and like the rap. It's obviously a very meaningful sort of song as well. You can tell when something is delivered with passion. I'm doing a show this week about singing, and you can just tell the difference between someone that is passionately singing the lyrics that they've written and someone that's kind of dialing it in. This one, not dialing it in, despite the very cool use of the phone thing with the phone sound, and then your call could not be connected. Really like that. Those sort of things are what add interest to a track like this. So I'm very impressed with that one. So thank you so much to I Brown for sharing that track. Let's jump over to the chat and see what we got to say. Tom Rochelle says, really quality video work here. Very, very cool. Stu Cash, yeah, the video was quality. Tom Rochelle, classic old school hip hop style. Very cool. Yeah, it reminded me, who did I listen to? Was it Black Alicious? A group that I listened to back in the 90s, early 2000s that had, who did now it was a rap song about, this is going to get way off track here, a rap song about the elements. I've got to try and remember. There was another cool song that reminds me of, and it's almost a bit Boys to Men. Like again, that's my guilty pleasure band. I'll put on Boys to Men's 2 album and just listen to that end to end, because that just has so many cool harmonies, good combination of beats and raps. And anyway, we won't talk about Pete's love of Boys to Men for too long. But yeah, definitely cool old school hip hop style. Love it a lot. SEONN says, yeah, the camera quality is great. Yeah, really good. Really well shot, really well done on that one. Really enjoy it. By the way, we didn't talk about SEONN's track. Sorry about that, SEONN. I got so busy saying thank you to you and for your support, we didn't actually get there. But Tom Rochelle says, good job, SEONN. And SEONN says, oh, it does build up. Yep. Iridium liked it. We had, oh yeah, did I say that? Yes, I did. Stu Cash, nice track. Very cool. So sorry about that. LL Cool J-esque, says Six String Gunner. Yeah, bit LL Cool J. You know what I love about LL Cool J? Did you know that his name is Ladies Love Cool James? Like, he's LL Cool J, and that stands for Ladies Love Cool James. Or at least that's what he said in interviews. I don't know whether he thought about that afterwards or whether that was actually intentional. And he's like, oh, people keep asking me what it means, so maybe I better make something up. And it's Ladies Love Cool James. Maybe. Who knows? We're going to continue on here because we got more songs and we got some time. We've got no time. We've got some time. Alrighty. Now I have to be careful with bringing up this next one because this is from our friend Jade Starr, who is on holidays or vacation, as you might call it. She's away for the weekend. But of course, she's still tuning in here to Your Music Live because she's just that committed to the cause here on Studio Live today. Obviously, if you've been around the channel for a while, you know Jade and you probably know her music and you probably know her regular music that she produces under the name Jade Starr Dread Circus. But Jade also has like umpteen different bands that she plays in, many of her side projects and other things that she works on. One of them is a band that I used to call U10 Cells until Jade corrected me one day and said, Pete, it's utensils. I'm like, oh, that's way more clever. I'm like, U10 Cells. That's interesting. What does that mean? I'm Googling it, trying to work out, is U10 Cells some medical term? No, it's utensils. Anyway, this is a song called F Your Feelings. And I'm going to go to full screen here because I'll just remove the profanity because Jade knows I like to keep things PG-13 around here. So this is an instrumental track though. So I believe, I'm trusting Jade that it's not just going to be a pile of profanities here. I did take a listen to it beforehand. So I do know this track because I have listened to a lot of Jade's work and a lot of Utensils' work. So definitely go and check out Jade's music over on her channel. at Jade Star, and there's a link. I'm sure Jade will be putting a link in the bottom down there right now. But for now, let's listen to F Your Feelings here on Your Music. What Jade says about this one is, this is what happens when an orchestra meets metal. Now, yeah, again, you just have to listen to more utensil stuff. Like, just stick it on, and yeah, it'll take you on a journey. You'll be exploring different sounds, different feelings, different melodies. What's my favorite track? I always forget the name of the tracks. That the utensils one. That's the Video Killed the Radio Star one. You have to listen to that one too. I've forgotten the name of it. Sorry, Jade. Put another link to that one down below. But yeah, really, really cool stuff. Just different and eclectic, intricate. So yeah, again, I could say too many superlatives to talk about. But the good thing about Jade's music is she's got stuff for everyone. So it's not all experimental orchestra metal. There's some more pure metal. There's a lot of sort of singer-songwriter and acoustic stuff, as well as a lot of rock stuff over on Jade's channel. So definitely go and check out Jade's music. You will not be disappointed. What is it Molly Meldrum used to say, Jade? Yeah, I can't even remember now. Go check it out. You won't be I don't know. You'll remember that quote too. I'm losing it a bit today. After the hour mark, I tend to get a little bit crazy and stop using my brain. Xela says, this makes me want to dance so badly. Langston says, a lot of mixed notes. Yeah, the changes around in there are just awesome. Tom Rochelle says, wow, great work as always, Jade. This is almost like free jazz or experimental. Bubba gives it a yo. Edward Ramos, sounds like Dracula going to the fun fair. Dracula going to the fun fair. I think you need to get that. I think you need to use that as a testimonial, Jade. Put it on your website. It's just like Edward Ramos sounds like Dracula going to the fun fair. Gold. All right, let's move on here. We've got so many songs to get through here. If you are getting value, you know what to do. Do all those YouTube things. I won't even say what they are. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's continue on with a song here by Jakob. I don't do well with some of the pronunciations, so I'm going to go with Jakob, because that's how I would say it in Australia, Jakob. But the presence of the K tells me that it could be Jakob or Jakob, because we have people from everywhere around the world here, which is fan-bloody-tastic. I can say bloody, can't I? That's PG-13, I'm sure. They say it on Neighbours, so it's got to be. Sorry, I'm also getting more Australian as we continue on here. Throwing more Australianism. Do yourself a favour is what Molly Meldrum says. It just came to me like a headache with pictures. Let's check out this tune from Jakob. This is called Umbrella, and we're going to be playing it live here on Your Music Live.
There's a white cloud in the sky over me. There's a red rose on the wall, can you see? Some black cloud throw a shadow on the wall. By the time summer turns to fall, when the rain begins to fall, I'll be there to hold an umbrella over you. And when you're all alone, listen to the words, the word that changed your mind, the word that made you cry.
I want to listen to more of that, but I know that we only have limited time. That's always a good sign, is when I'm sitting here and I forget that I'm actually doing a live show, and that I think that I'm just listening to a song because the vibe has just captured me so much. And again, here's the cheat on this one, is that's the sort of music I like. I love me some singer-songwriter folksy stuff. I'm a sucker for a harmonica because I just never learnt to play one. So I find that people that can play the harmonica are like voodoo people, witches and wizards to me, because I can't do it myself. But yeah, that was a really mellow song, really nice acoustic guitar in there as well, like the harmonica, like the two vocals. It just sits nicely in there. What would is any advice I'd have there? I will mention this on that track as well as a previous track, the one from I Brown. And I can only tell this here because I'm playing these songs back to back to back. I've got my fader here, and I had to give that a little bit more volume to get it up to the level, get it up to around 0 dB so that it would come through on the stream. And it was the same with your track too, I Brown. I think that if you just maybe explore some mastering and a bit of limiting on there, because the volume was just a little bit low, and I think you could make those a lot fuller and more punchy if you did some mastering, even some simple just putting a limiter on the master track just to bring up that volume. I've got a heap of videos here on mastering. If you put my name, Pete Johns, and mastering into your Google or your YouTube search engines, you'll find a whole bunch of, mixing versus mastering, what is mastering, how to do mastering in GarageBand on your iPhone or iPad. I just think it would give, the whole point of mastering is to give you a radio-ready mix and give you a competitive volume. It's not the only thing for mastering, but it's one of the main points of mastering. So I would suggest doing that, and that's going to actually help you out with that. Really cool song though. What did you think here? Folks that are live here, folks on the replay, what did you think of that track from Jakob or Jacob, Umbrella? I think it was sounding pretty cool. Yeah says, I'm going to sign up to be a Patreon. Thank you. I appreciate it. Really like it. Appreciate your support. Bubba says, nice harp work. Love the subtleties. Yeah, absolutely. Plastic says, I like. Tono, very calm. Binny Sandu. Hello, my friend Binny. Love that. Really well mixed and honest. Agree. I like it. Tom Rochelle says, excellent production on this. Reminded me a little of Johnny Cash from the lead vocals and guitars. Yeah, a little bit Johnny Cash. I did think that maybe the vocal, this is coming from me, who mixes my vocals too loud a lot. I think the vocals were a little bit loud in the mix, probably could have come down a couple of dB, or maybe you'd bring the guitar up a couple of dB just to balance that out. But again, it's a singer-songwriter song. You want to be able to hear the vocals clearly, so maybe it's fine. Excuse me. Alrighty, let's continue on because we got more songs. Some more songs to get here. We're up to song number 15, I think. Whew. Now, this song here came from Xela. And I think, did I see you here on the chat earlier, Xela? Let me know if you are here. Put your hand up. Woo, give us a wave if you are here live. If you're not here live, by the way, and you're watching on the replay, hello. Please leave your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the show because I really want to know how it's going to go. Just trying to think of other O words. O. I ran out of O. All right. Now this is a song called Pervert, and Xela, when they emailed me, said, it is kid-friendly, don't worry, it's an instrumental. So I'm like, okay, because I was a little bit worried that yeah, we don't want to play any inappropriate songs here. We're having some fun here. We're listening to some stuff, but yeah, no, this is I have listened to this and vetted it, and it is 100% fine. Let's take a listen to this track by Xela here on Your Music Live. Oh, that was everything. That was industrial. That was ominous, sort of creepy vibes there. Yeah, I mean, the name kind of is appropriate there because that gave me an uncomfortable feeling at the start, and then it just kicked into some like Trent Reznor style industrial beats and sounds that was just really cool. I like it. Again, we've been through every style of music here today. It's been amazing. It's been very, very cool to hear what folks are producing and what they're producing in their home studio. And as I say, the quality is really, really high. Obviously, it varies because some people are sharing literally their first song, the first song they've ever produced, the first song they've ever recorded and released. That's super cool. Some people have been doing this for years and they're honing their skills over time, which is also super cool. That one I really liked. I don't know. I can hear that as like in a like a Matrix style movie, like in some sort of a new metal kind of vibe where it's, you know, apocalyptic kind of thing. Like the main character's walking through wearing like a black trench coat. For some reason I'm thinking Neo in Matrix, but you know, in the scene, you know, that inappropriate scene where they were all just getting it on in like the third Matrix movie or the second one of those that went for like 10 minutes. Yeah, that sounds like the backing track for that. What was with that, by the way? Any Matrix fans in the house that are super disappointed that the second two movies were just not that good? Oi. I'm gonna make some enemies here. All the Matrix fan people are going to come out of the woodwork and say, no, man, the third one was the best. It solved all the problems. You got to find out he wore the blindfold. He did the thing. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm talking about The Matrix, apparently. Welcome to Your Movies Live here. I should totally do a movie show. I love me some movies. Xela is here on the stream. Excellent. Great to have you here. You got the thumbs up from Binny Sandu. Tono says, I think it could do with more reverb all around. Be a very big song. Could definitely kind of be big and kind of crush it with a bit more reverb. It could kind of get I don't know, maybe to mix it up. Maybe you'd have a reverb just on parts of it. So you just play part and then you just hit a really big reverb. Yeah, Plastic, I am all about it. Yes. Iridium, dubstep. Dark sounding dubstep. Great work, Xela. That's from Tom Rochelle. So I'm glad there's people here that know the genres because I don't. We've been through this. I don't know the genres. Anyway, very cool. Excellent production. Yeah, Dan Marino is here. Hello to you. Hi, guys. How do I send a song to you just now, Pete? So you can email me. We do have a full quota today, Dan, but email me. There's details down in the description, so jump on down there. Just email pete@studiolivetoday.com, put YML in the subject, and my little Gmail Google robots will put it into my folder, and then I'll be able to consider it for a future show. So hopefully that helps you out. SEONN's back and said, I missed Jade's show. Yes, absolutely. Cool. let's you did miss you missed Jade's song. Yes, it was a couple of songs back, but you can catch up on the replay or just rewind it. Yeah, if you're live here, just go back, rewind it, and listen to the tune and what we had to say about it. I better subscribe to Xela and give this tune a like. Absolutely, that is done and done. I support people whose music just is cool, which is most of you folks. Okay, it's all of you. Rightio, we've got like 6 songs left. I know, it's flown by, but we have been here an hour and a half. It's flown by in an hour and a half. It's been a lot of fun. If you're getting some value out of this, if you're having some fun, if you're enjoying listening to the eclectic tastes and the wonderful production of the Studio Live Today community, hit the like button. That just tells me that you like what's going on here on the channel and that you want me to do these shows more in the future. Let's listen to a track here. This is from Absolute Absurd. This is someone who I've been seeing in the comments quite a lot lately, so thank you to you. I'm going to subscribe to you. Look, I'm your 700th subscriber. Woo! Ring the bell. Let's take a listen to this. This is called Two Sides. This is a track from Absolute Absurd here on Your Music Live called Two Sides. Let's listen. Again, I forgot to stop listening because that was so cool. What a cool groove, what a cool vibe that we had in that one. I don't know what sort of, it almost wanted to be lo-fi, but then it wasn't. It was just a cool instrumental track. Loved the guitars in there, loved all the sounds. That's an example of something that you've filled out the arrangement. It's a full enough arrangement. It's not too busy that it's doing too much, but it's doing just enough. That's the sort of music that I call my focus music. I'm going to have to explore your channel, because if you've got a lot of other tunes like that, that's the sort of music that I love to stick on in the background. It's not so distracting because it's not lyrics and it's not a lot of melody in terms of distracting melody and words, but it's just got such a cool vibe and such cool sounds that I just want to sit and listen to that and pay my bills and respond to emails and stuff like that. It's the sort of music I love for that when I'm doing my day job and working. I always have music like that. A bit of lo-fi hip-hop or a bit of chilled instrumental stuff like this is super cool. So thank you so much for sharing. I really, really enjoyed that one. Good production, good sounds, good vibes. Just, like the little picture there in the background. All worked well, came together well. Tom Rochelle says something very classic or oldie sounding about that one. Yeah, very cool. Acer BT says it sounds like the drums are peaking and causing other parts within themselves to get quiet. Yeah, so the pumping sound. Now, this is something I want to get your views on this, because that sort of side chain pumping sound that you get with the kick drum, I don't like it in too extreme levels. I actually didn't mind it on that track at all. I thought that it worked well and it sounded okay for that track. I like the drums on the track. I don't think they were distracting. Especially for lo-fi and chill hip hop that I'm listening to, if it does too much of that side chain where it's just like, that real pumping in and out where it goes so quiet, I can't listen to that after a while. So it sounds like Acer, you might be a little bit more tuned into that style of music and maybe not a fan, which is so cool, because the beautiful part about music is it's all subjective. Yeah, Vinny Sandu says it can do with vocals quite easily. Stu Cash, it's itching for some lyrics. Ugh. Adam Yates, welcome to you. I love this. Thomas Gillane says maybe a little bit less compression on the drums. Yeah, so again, there's a couple of comments there, so maybe worth considering. Maybe you just turn down the compression on the drums just a little bit, and then and then you go with it. Bubba was waiting for Dean Martin or Sinatra to start singing. Yeah, very cool. Plastic says it's just enough so vocals could meld quite well. Could get disorienting, potentially. Yeah, but yeah, a lot of good comments there. I like it. A lot of folks jumping in and sharing your views, which is what it's all about. And again, if you missed the live show and you're here on the replay, leave us your comments in the comments because you can be involved in the show. And if you By the way, if you are missing the live shows or if you're watching on the replay and you're like, darn it, I didn't know when this was happening, subscribe to the newsletter. Head over to the mailing list. If you go to studiolivetoday.com/email, you can actually join the mailing list. And that is the best way to keep in touch and to keep up with what's happening. It will give you the highlights of last week. So all of the tutorials and all the videos and all the GarageBand and all the goodness, it'll give you links to all of those so you can catch up on anything you may have missed during the week. And you get all of the links to all of the live shows for the weekend. So that comes out every Thursday, Friday, depending where you are in the world. And it gets you set up. It gets you caught up on the week of what happened here on Studio Live today. And it will get you up to speed with what's happening in the weekend of live streams, because we've got a lot happening. This is just show number 1. We've got 3 more shows happening here on Studio Live today. Tomorrow, home studio Q&A, question and answers, your questions answered right here. I'm then doing an experimental happy hour where I'm going on tour. And when I say on tour, I'm probably not leaving this room, but I'm touring around all of the different social media platforms because I'm going to be testing out. Now, can you see it? It's it's just there. I'm going to be testing out that little sucker, which is the Roland Go Mixer Live, and I'm going to be playing live music, and I'm just going to be doing everything. I'm going to be plugging in my phone and singing along to my own backing tracks. I'm going to be playing acoustic guitar. I'll try and get my piano in here if I can, or maybe I'll go to the piano and live stream from the kitchen. Haven't worked out the details yet, but it's going to be experimental, which means things are going to go wrong. So yeah, join me for that one. And then on Monday morning or Sunday afternoon, evening for you, we've got GarageBand Weekly, which is my show all about GarageBand. And this week we're doing a WWDC, a Worldwide Developer Conference preview show where I'll be speculating about what we're going to hear and see. So if you like a bit of speculation and you want to come and share your conspiracy theories about what Apple will and won't do, iPhone 12, iOS 14, Logic on iPad, what's going to come? We don't know, but it's fun to guess. Anyway, that's enough of your promotional spiel, Pete. You're here to play music. I am indeed. So let's play the next tune. This one is by Moksh Dhawan, and it's called "Falling Through." Let's bring this one up into the window here and get it all queued up and play this track. Now, this is a really cool one. This is a Falling Through instrumental playthrough at Acer LP 2019-2020. So I'm assuming this is original work, hopefully. If it's not, it might get flagged for copyright claim, but that's all right. We'll play it. We'll worry about that later. I'm assuming I should have checked, but I'm assuming this is an original work. But let's take a listen and a look because I really like this one. You can see we've got some visuals and we've got the sound here, and it looks and sounds very cool. So let's listen to this one here from Moksh Dhawan. This is "Falling Through" here on Your Music Live. Mr. Button.
Falling Through music video, take 3, piano section.
Very cool. Very nicely done there. I like it. I like it a lot. I like the. What? I was about to say, I hope it's not going into like that's just the intro and then it goes and does something really cool and epic. But you know what? You're going to have to find out because you're going to have to check it out in the description down below. I'm going to be checking that out. I'm going to hit like and subscribe on that one because I want to take a listen to that afterwards and see what goes on there. Very, very cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Thank you for sharing that. Lovely piano playing. I love that piano tone. I love a good piano tone that's got like the real bass in that piano. Like, I was saying to someone during the week that I put a lot of piano in my rock songs, mostly because I listened to so much Billy Joel and Elton John as a kid. I think I just got hooked on having piano in my music. So that's what I do these days. Let's jump over to the chat. I'll just see if anyone got any comments here. We've got a question about how to share my songs, which we're getting there. Love the song. Yeah, I think... Cool. We've got some other chats going on here. Yeah, that was some really good synth rock from Tom Rochelle. And Tom Rochelle would know. Excellent stuff. Other folks are so the reason I was pausing there is that folks are having a good chat about other things here in the chat, which is good. I like that. But I get confused because I'm like, what does this have to do with the song that was just playing? It doesn't seem to be related. But that's okay. Right, how many we got left? We got 4 songs left. And I've really only got about 17 minutes. So I'm going to have to not rush, but move swiftly through these. I don't want to rush too much because I want to respect the people and their music. Let's jump in and take a listen to a song from Stasia called 10 Long Years. We'll bring up the YouTube video of this one, get it queued up, and take a listen. This is Stasia with 10 Long Years here on Your Music Live on Studio Live today.
Hold my hand again. See you after 10 long years of waiting in the rain. Standing in the cold, walking down the road. My friends aren't totally somewhat different. A place where I'll miss them. I hope I'll see you soon, but I won't be able to. I'll be a cloud next to yours. I'll be so proud of you, I'm like yours. You're with me, that's all I need. 10 years of long waiting, seeing no one but me. There's no more in a breaking. I found the love that I've been seeking all along. You'd go on and on, that I'm so strong. Really thought that you were wrong. I hope I'll see you soon.
There you go. 10 Long Years by Stasia. Very, very cool. What a great voice. Like, I'm super impressed. Super impressed by some of the talent that we have here, some of the vocal talent that we have here in the group. So Stasia sent me an email here, has said, my first song I ever made, produced using GarageBand on my iPad, using your videos to help. Thank you for your amazing videos. I was able to release on Spotify via Muse. It was just released today. See, how cool is that? Like that's the sort of thing that I love to hear and that I love to see, is that people are able to get their music out there, to create, record, release. It's almost like that should be a catchphrase and something that I say. But yes, create, record, release, get it out there. And the cool thing is that now Stasia is going to be able to share that music with friends and family, but also with other folks producing music like me, like the Studio Live Today community, and start getting feedback. Start hearing what she's done well, what she can work on there. Man, the voice there, there's an Australian band called George, who has a singer, I forget her name, I apologise, but she has a voice very similar to that, and she's operatically trained. I wouldn't be surprised if Stasia has some vocal training there, because they were some nice trills and some really, really clear and well hit notes in that singing. So very, very cool. There was a little hiss in the background there, Stasia, so I'm not sure if that's just the mic that you're using or the gain turned up a little bit too loud on your recording, or it may have been rain sound that I just misconstrued as hiss. I'm not sure. But yeah, so there may just be some tweaks to work on with your production over time. But again, guess what? You're off the mark. Everyone starts at 0. You're now at 1. You can only continue on from here, right? And you can continue recording and creating and doing all the good things. So thank you so much for sharing that with us here. Jade Star says, what an epic debut. I guess. I agree. Very, very nice. Goosebumps, great, says six string gunner. I like it. Very peaceful, says Langston Reese. Yes, excellent. Yeah, love it. Tom Rochelle says, great singing there, simple but powerful. Tono says, touching. Jeff Brush says, so good. Brush. Binny says, beautiful. Yeah. And Dimon SL says, oh, voice, lovely voice. Yep, everyone's loving it. Everyone loves your voice. Everyone needs to. Katie Noonan is the lead singer of George that I was thinking of. Thank you, Jade Star. I know whenever I make an Australian reference that Jade's going to be able to come to the party and help out. Suggestion from Binny Sandu says, the piano could have been an octave lower on the chords in some parts as a counterpoint to your voice. A small amount of delay will help the notes to bounce. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's a good point. So maybe with the arrangement, yeah, maybe you do drop the piano down low in sort of like some parts to create that contrast, and then yeah, a little bit of a da la 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 la, a little bit of delay on the voice. Good ideas. This is why folks are here. Thomas Gallane says, the voice is superb. I'd invest in a piano app to have it sound clear. It could be that the piano recorded through a mic, and it could be that the hiss comes from that. Yeah, potentially. Oi, indeed, Jade. Aussie. Oi. Hello to my Australian viewers, most of whom are probably asleep because it's 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning. So you probably should be asleep. Unlike me, because I just love doing this too much. So I can't sleep. I need to be sharing music right here on Studio Live today. Let's jump in. This is Russ Crandall. Russ Crandall shared a tune called Washing Up, which is hopefully not about doing the dishes, because I don't like doing that. I have a dishwasher. No. Washing Up by Russ Crandall. What did Russ have to say to me in his email? Let's have a quick squiz, shall we? Yep, we're nearly at the top of the list here. Russ says, really cool of you to showcase other people's music. Thanks, Rush. Thanks, Russ. This is Russ Crandall, Washing Up. And yeah, you can follow him on SoundCloud. The link to the SoundCloud is down in the description. You can check that one out. But for now, let's you and me listen to this tune called Washing Up from Russ Crandall.
Out of nowhere, across state lines and neon signs, I was washing up, I missed the doorbell. Yourself in as if nothing had changed.
Just me, or are there so many songs that are hitting me right in the feels today. It's like the sentimental version. We've got breakup songs, we've got really meaningful songs, we got a lot going on there. Very nice, Russ. That was Washing Up by Russ Crandall. Thank you so much for sharing. The riff there at the start, I was like, what does this remind me of? It's a little Hey There Delilah, that one-hit wonder song from I can't even remember who. But yeah, it's a very, very, very cool song. I love where it kicks in there in the chorus. I mean, I think that the production, it's a lo-fi kind of production, which suits the acoustic style that you have there. And I really liked it when it kicked into the chorus. Really enjoyed that. Now, the challenge with a song like this is, what do? Do you keep it light on? I've got a bunch of songs like this. My song Fence Sitter was similar to this, that it was just an acoustic guitar and a voice. It was pretty slow. It was pretty laid back. And I really didn't know whether to make it into a full arrangement. I think it worked well as just its original song. But then when I did the full arrangement, it worked well too. So maybe considering something like that. So at the start there, the only probably thing I'd think about is the riff at the start there, and I do the same sort of thing. Like I'm a product of 90s alt rock, so intros were long. So we had 30 seconds, 1 minute intro. If you get away with it these days, if you keep that in mind, if you want to make sure that listeners are going to be kept, I'm not saying jump straight into your first word the second you start playing, but you may just want to halve that intro. For like a production or released version, if you're doing something, just so that you're starting to move things along. Because you might find people, if they're 15 seconds in and they're just hearing 2 guitar chords, as nice as they sound, they may be on their way because they want some variety, because attention spans these days, a little bit short on. So, yeah, but worth considering, but again, not something that you have to do. All of this stuff is just stuff that you can do. Plain White Tees, that was the name of the band that had, I'm sure they had one more song than Hey There Delilah, but yeah, that was the one that I was thinking of. Righty go. Let's see what we got here. Langston Reese says, absolutely love it. Tom Rochelle says, I like how the synth blended with the vocal ooh towards the end. Very good track. Tono, his voice reminds me of the Rentals. The synth was a bit loud. Yeah, probably did a little bit overpower when it all came in there. Very good. Russ Crandall is right here in the chat. Welcome, my friend. Glad to have you here. So thanks, everyone. Loved recording everything on my iPad thanks to Pete's videos. Awesome. Very, very glad. The Decemberists. Yes, it reminds me of the Decemberists, the Crane song. I haven't listened to some Decemberists for like years. What was the song of theirs that I really liked? This is the thing, listening to this music reminds me of other music that I used to like that I haven't listened to ages. So I'm going to be cranking some Black Alicious. I'm going to be cranking some Decemberists. Yeah, because there's so many bands that I listened to a lot and then I never kind of got back to. So yeah, very, very cool stuff. Jade Star says, modern listeners are goldfish, hard to keep their focus. Yeah, exactly. And exactly why I don't say do this. I say, if you want to. And this is what people come to me for different reasons. Some people want to create music to share because they want to share their art and they want to have fun and they want to grow and develop and make better music. That's cool. Some people legitimately want to appeal to a wide variety of listeners or appeal to a certain type of listeners. So depending which way you want to go is what you can choose. If you want to go down the pop route of making sure that you're doing the hit the hook within 30 seconds mentality that we have today, do that. If you want to just embrace your roots and do things the way you want to do them because music is awesome, then do that. It's your decision. The beauty part of music and life is that generally we get to make our own decisions and we don't have to do what other people say. As someone very wise once said, do what makes you happy. Now I didn't put the time in for that one. It was about 1:32. Oh, I'm not doing well with these timestamps. 1 minute 32 and 00. And I'm a bit worried that that timing, it's not really keeping up because the time here, it says 1:35 I've been live for at the moment, and I'm pretty sure I started at, I don't know, something about that clock doesn't look quite right. Definitely going to have to use a stopwatch for future shows. But again, this is a learning experience for me. We're just, we're doing it one step at a time. All right, the next track here, we've got 2 more to go, 2 more to finish off here, and then we are out of here. So the next one here, I think is someone who's, yes, they've just emailed me the file here. So I'm just going to quickly download this file. I will save the file and then we'll open it on up. Well, I'm over here in Firefox. It's a bit different where you save files. Let us Open the folder, and then open this file. We'll open up with VLC Player. So I haven't had any files to open for a while, so I'm a little bit rusty with how to do this stuff. So this is from Christof Krämer, who has shared a track, and a track called Deep Ocean. So I'm just going to bring this one on back to the start. Oop, put the wrong one to full screen. Bring this back to the start and get ready to hit play. So this is Deep Ocean by Christof Krämer. Here says, hello, my first song with GarageBand. You helped me so much and I wanted to thank you. Awesome. Love to hear that. Love to hear folks are creating and using GarageBand or whatever you're using, as long as you're creating your own music. That's all good. Let's take a listen to this one from Christof Krämer. Very, very cool. I'll have to throw the horns up for that one. Could have kept rocking out to that one for a while too as well. But yeah, time is of the essence. Very cool. Unfortunately, that was only sent to me. So my recommendation to you is to share that. Put it up on SoundCloud, on YouTube. Head over to the Create, Record, Release Facebook group if you're not already a member, and share it with the wonderful folks there. That was Christof Krämer, Deep Ocean. Sounded very, very cool. We are at the end. This is the end. And I'm very happy with this because James Hawken, who has just become a patron of mine over on patreon.com/PeteJohns. And yes, that is a shameless plug that if you want to support the channel and join our little smaller community over on Patreon, you can do, as Jade Star, I believe, has just done. I think, let me just check my notifications. Indeed, Jade Star has just become a patron. I appreciate you. Jade already supports me in like 1,000 different ways, so it wasn't necessary, but I do appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you very much, and thank you to all of my current and future patrons over on patreon.com/PeteJohns. But I say all that to say this is James Hawken, who has a song here that he has shared via email. I'm going to bring it up here on the screen, and then we'll have a quick look at what James has had to say. Oop. It's playing automatically. Still need to explore. I think, Thomas, was it you that said there's a plugin for Chrome that makes it stop auto-playing stuff when you open a link? I need that. You need to explore that. I'll get onto that. I'll get right on it. Yeah, I think you told me 2 weeks ago, and I'm not right on it. Let's come over here. It is... there we are. It says, hi Pete, thanks for helping me get creative and recording again. Absolutely. Here's my track about an awakening after a creative comatose. And the language I use is Cornish. Maybe you have Cornish roots. There are lots of Johns found in Cornwall. I do indeed have Cornish roots. The Johnses from 6-7 generations ago came from Cornwall. I think I'm 6th or 7th generation. I should probably know that, shouldn't I? Know your roots, Pete. Be great if you could have a listen. Well, not only going to have a listen, we're going to play it here on Your Music Live. This is going to be our final track here on the show. I will then jump on back and finish off and say our farewells. But let's jump in and take a listen to this one called Difun, Dison. I've said that terribly, no doubt. This is Awaken Silently from James Hawken here on Your Music Live. What a very cool way to finish off your music live here. Difun, Dison, Awaken silently there. James, Hawken. That brought back some memories. That had some Moby vibes, some Portishead. It had some of that 90s sort of electronica feel to it. I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot. Not only because James is supporting me over on Patreon, one of my newest patrons over there, but because it's just cool music. And again, for James and for everyone here today, if I've been able to contribute in any way to the cool music that you folks are creating, then that is pretty humbling. So I really do appreciate you and your support, and for sharing your music and your talent. Like that's next level stuff that we've had here. We've had 21 different songs in the last 2 hours, and they have literally gone completely across the range of different styles. So we've had all sorts of different styles here, different music, different creators, people sharing their first song, people sharing their 100th song, and just a whole lot of talented folks doing really cool stuff. So thank you. Out of Office says nice song. Binny Sandu, love the vibe. Plastic, I like it. Vincent Bow, thanks Pete, just caught the last 10 minutes, but really good tunes. They have been really good tunes today. Really, really enjoy it, so thank you. Out of Office said, I had no clue how to start creating music on my guitar and iPad. Your videos helped me, just turned in, so I guess I'll miss out on my music being played, I guess. Thanks for the vids. Yeah, so if you have submitted, Only Ben's here, thank you, said some great tracks on here tonight, well done all. Tom Rochelle liked the guitar tones on this one. Yeah, absolutely. Really, really good stuff. And Tom Rochelle says that was good, very different. Yeah, absolutely. If you do have a song that you would like to submit, clearly I'm going to continue doing this show. It's kind of become my favorite part of the week, is sitting down for a couple of hours and listening to your music live here on the channel. So if you do want to submit a song, just email it to me, pete@studiolivetoday.com. Put YML in the subject, and then just give me a sentence or two, something unique about the song, a bit about how you created it, a bit about what it means to you, just something that I can read out here, because it's always more enjoyable if folks can hear a little bit about you or the creation or your creative process. But that is going to do it for this week's installment of Your Music Live. I hope you had some fun and enjoyed it. If I played your song, congratulations. If I didn't, don't worry. If you've submitted it, hopefully it'll be there in the folder, and we'll get to it on a future show. But thank you everyone for your support. If you want to check out more here on the channel, head over to studiolivetoday.com. That's your one-stop shop. You can check out the gear guide, join the mailing list, check out all the features over on Patreon, and follow me on the other social platforms. I don't normally say follow me on places, but tomorrow, the experiment I'm doing with my happy hour, I'm going to be touring around Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and Periscope and all these places. So if you're following me, you'll be able to kind of hop around. It'll be like a pub crawl, but on different social media platforms and with music. Does that sound good? I think it sounds good. Alrighty. Thanks again, folks. Really appreciate you being here today, and I'll catch you next time on Your Music Live. Take care.